Here we are at a property in Mill Park. We've been engaged by the client to have a look at some of the internal walls to see if they are load bearing or not. As you can see, it's a single story unit. The roof is concrete tile. External wall is brick, but we don't know yet if it's a brick veneer wall or a double brick wall. And from what I can see, looks like it's sitting on a concrete footing because it's not raised, so it's not sitting on stumps. Now let's have a look inside and see what's happening there. Okay, so this is one of the walls that's been removed already, but hasn't been done properly because it's a load bearing wall. We've got the props landing on this wall and that one there. So we need to have a beam running this way to pick up the load. And then we need to have a post here, and the beam is going to be connected to the other beam here, which is already been installed but hasn't been sized up properly, or hasn't been engineered. It's just any size. So this wall again has been removed already, but it's a load bearing wall, so we can see the ceiling joists landing on the wall. Then we can see the props. That's one prop, that's another prop, and there are other props there as well. So that's another prop. Therefore this wall is load bearing as well. So we're going to have a beam here, a beam running that way connected to this beam, and then that beam is going to have one post on either side. Then the client is happy that she can remove this part as well, but we need to do a bit of re-propping to redirect the props to the corner part of that wall, which is here, and then we can get rid of this part. But then we're going to have a double or triple stack to have the props landing on this part. Last one is to have an opening here, like a door, to connect the garage to the lounge room. This is a brick veneer wall, so we need a timber lintel and equal angle to support the brick and the timber. Alright, so let's start with the wall here.
Yes.
So you've got the rafters, that's the roof. These are the concrete tiles, right? Then these tiles are supported on these posts. We call them props.
Yeah.
And these props we're landing on these walls that you're planning to remove, that
to put the roof, yes.
which you removed
Yeah.
already, but we put a beam to take the load, right? So this wall, we've got props landing on it, so that's a load bearing wall. Then the other wall as well, we've got props landing on it, so that's a load bearing wall too. Now what we're going to do is now this is looking from the top. We're going to have a beam here. This is the entrance.
Yes.
So that's the door as you walk in. Then we're going to have another beam connected to this beam, right? So we're going to have a post, a beam, a new beam, and a post. Now since you have a timber beam here already,
Yes.
so I'm trying to use the same
Yes.
here. Right.
That example, that double beam, that'll be fine for this one here, yeah?
Yeah. So we're going to use that.
So you just cut it to, whatever the measurements to the
size.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So that's that. Now, if this is the garage, next wall that you're planning to remove, that's the case. So you've got the garage here,
Yes.
you have the wall here, and you're planning to open up a
Yes.
door.
Yes.
This is easy done too, so we can just put a angle lintel.
Yes, that's right. Mm-hmm.
So angle lintel is going to support the brick part.
Yes.
So the brick is going to sit on top of this angle,
Mm-hmm.
right? And then we need a timber lintel next to this angle because that timber is going to support the brick and the timber part.
On the timber
wall.
side in the
Yes,
lounge. Okay.
yes.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So
To support, the plaster wall there, and then the angle lintel for the brick. Of course.
Exactly.
Of course. Yep.
Exactly. So
That's easy. Yeah.
that's done.
Okay.
Now for the outside part.
The plumbing. Yep.
Yeah. So we've got something called angle of report that he removed the soil.
Yes.
That
Is
part is the
unstable.
part that I'm concerned about. So what I will recommend. If you have a trench here, if we draw a line from the bottom part of that trench on a 45-degree angle, and this is the footing, this 45-degree angle shouldn't touch the bottom part of that footing. So the right way is, if this is the footing and this is the trench, that should be like that. So we need 100 mil clearance from the bottom part of that footing if we draw a 45-degree line. Now my concern is about the part that the soil has been removed from the bottom part of this footing to run the pipe there.
Yeah.
And this is the brick wall, let's say. Now because it's all been taken out.
Yeah, exposed, yes.
Exactly that. This is like, suspended, so it's not really resting on stiff soil.
Yes.
So that's why I want this to be filled back with blinding concrete. And the little gaps that he can't get through, he can use, because concrete can fill it up to a certain level.
Yeah.
The small gaps they might be left.
Yes.
So we use hard rammed mortar.
Hard rammed mortar, yep.
Yeah, should be 40 MPa hard rammed mortar to
Yeah.
fill the gap.
Okay.
Now before he concretes that part, he has to wrap the pipe with a special material to make sure that this concrete will not damage this pipe.
Yes.
So it's like a spongy material.
Yes.
So it's not going to squash the pipe. Then the other thing is the connection between the new pipe and the old pipe. I would recommend to use a flexible joint. What I mean by flexible joint is that because the soil is not there, now we're going to fill it with blinding concrete. We will expect some sort of movement between these two. If he doesn't use a flexible joint, what happens is in long term you're going to have some sort of differential movement,
Yes.
therefore misalignment in your pipe, therefore water leakage here, and water is going to stay under the footing.
Okay.
And then
You've
settlement.
got problems. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So
What
that's
about for this 15 MPa, the blinding
that's
concrete?
just blinding concrete. That's a standard thing. I mean, that's.
But the plumber should know all this, I assume.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
He was just here today, like, yeah.
Alright, so that's for that, and that's all. So we just have to put the drawings together, and I will provide two options: one steel, one timber.
Yeah.
You can get quotes from your builder and see which one's gonna work out cheaper, and then I will finalize that.
But the carpenter can do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright.
Thank you.
You're welcome.